Hello and welcome to today's tutorial. My name is Charity of Crochets, and today we are making this beautiful bikini set. It's really nice and it's really easy to make. I love the flower detail, and I don't know what you think, guys, but I really love this and I love the outcome. So this is what we are learning how to do today, and the tutorial for the flowers will be available, but just not on this tutorial. Today our focus is on the bikini itself and installing the flowers. For the flowers I'll do a separate tutorial, and if you're interested in making them, kindly visit them, and I'll avail the link for them. All right, for the materials you're going to need this wool. It's 100% acrylic. I'll also be using this color, which is called lilac, and the recommendations are the same, and I'll be using this too, all right, for my bikini. So you'll need a tape measure, a hook, and a yarn needle, and also a scissor cutter. All right, so to begin, you're going to make a slip knot, all right, and then you're going to make your chains. All right, so I'm going to make 12 chains since we are doing the bikini bottom. All right, I'm going to chain 12 because it has to measure around 2 inches, all right, which will be the base of our bikini bottom. From there we are going to do a double crochet, and because I'm a chain 2 person, I'm not going to chain 3. On the third I'm going to do a double crochet, and you're going to continue on making double crochets all the way until you reach the end of the chain. All right, so I've come to the end of my first round, or my first row rather. I'm going to chain 2. If you are a chain 3 person, you'll chain 3 and go ahead and do my double crochet. All right, so this I'm doing without increases. I'm just doing double crochets all the way. All right, so you're going to do your double crochets just like that all the way until you reach the very end of your previous row of double crochets. All right, so go ahead and do that, and we shall see at the end. At the end you're just going to do your last double crochet, and then you chain 2 rather, or chain 3 if you are a chain 3 person, and then you're going to turn your work. All right, so I've come to the end of my second round or row, so I'm going to work that for about 4 inches. All right, because that's the standard measurement of the bottom of the bikini bottom or any panty that you could make. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and work my 4 inches. All right, which with this wool and my hook size, which is a 3mm, is going to be around 9 rows. All right, 9 rows, yeah. So this is my 9 rows complete, and it measures exactly 4 inches. All right, so from here I'm going to go ahead and chain 2 because I'm a chain 2 person, turn my work and do my increases. So I will do a double crochet in the very same spot. All right, and continue on doing double crochets all the way until I'm left with 1 stitch. All right, and then on that last stitch, that's when I'm going to do another increase. All right, so that my painter will be equal. All right, that means an increase at the end and also an increase at the beginning. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and do an increase again. So each and every row I'm doing an increase at the beginning and at the end. So you go ahead and do that and continue with your normal double crochets all the way until you reach the end. All right, so this is just a repeat. As you can see, I'm doing my last increase. All right, so you're going to go ahead and do that increase all the way, and at this point, as you can see, it's measuring 5 inches, but you are aiming at making it around 10 to 11 inches depending on the coverage you're going for. All right, so I'll actually leave the chart to know how many rows you should do for whichever size you are making. All right, So for my client, I'm going to do a size medium to large, and I'm going to do about 18 increases in total, and from where we started is gonna be around 11 inches altogether for the front panel. All right, so that is what you're going to do, and thereafter we shall see. All right, I'm almost at the end of my front panel. All right, so I'm just going to do my last increase right there, and voila. Right, so after this, so that you avoid joining and rejoining, cutting and rejoining your yarn, I'm going to go ahead, all right, and just do my chain. So as you can see, my work right now, it measures 11 inches when it's flattened. All right, so that's my aim. So sometimes giving you measurements in rows would be difficult because you'd be probably using a different yarn and a different hook size, but if I give you measurements in the inches, at least you'd know how much to work with your own tools. All right, so that's my increases there complete. All right, so that being done, I'm going to make a chain, a very long chain that we're going to use as a strap, all right, to tie our painting on the side. So you're going to make a chain that is long enough to cover up and to tie. So I think I did around 75 just so it could be enough, and I did an extra one, and then I'm gonna cut my yarn. All right, and then I'm going to do the same on the other side, because I just want to finish off with this front panel before we could begin our back panel. All right, so you're going to go ahead and make a knot to join the yarn, attach it, all right, and then make the same number of chains that you did on the other side. All right, so don't mind about that tail because you're going to weave it in at the end, and you'll do exactly the same. All right, so I'm done with my second chain, and I'm going to cut, all right, and fasten off. So at this stage you're going to tie a knot just so you could secure it and for it to look a bit neater. So we're going to do that and cut off the excess yarn. All right, and you're going to do the same on the other side. If you want to put a bead or anything as a decorative, you could go ahead, but for me, I'm just going to tie knots and cut the excess wool. All right, and that's just works fine for me. And there with my second one. So my front panel is ready right now, and I'm just going to weave in this ends. All right, so to do that, I'm just using a darning needle or a yarn needle, and I just pass it through. All right, so because my end is really short, so I'm going to pass through the yarn, the needle without the yarn. All right, so that I could pass through the yarn and the needle thereafter, as you can see I'm doing right now. All right, because I left a short end, so I'm going to pull it like that and pull it a little bit more at the tail and cut, so that when I stretch it, it will fall into its comfortable space, as you can see right now. All right, and it's really neat. So what you're going to do now, we're going to work our back panel, and I'm going to make a knot and attach it to my last piece. All right, so I'm going to go ahead there where I started. I'm going to attach my yarn, and I'm going to go ahead and chain 2. So I'm going to try by all means to weave in this ends. So I'm chaining 2 because I'm a chain 2 person, but if you're a chain 3 person, go ahead and do that. And immediately I'm going to insert a double crochet into the same spot because we are making increases directly. All right, so you're going to go ahead as you weave in your ends and do your double crochets all the way until you reach the end. All right, so you're going to do that and keep pulling those ends so that they become well concealed. So I'm at the end, and I'm going to insert my last double crochet and also do my increase. All right, so that's what I did. So the back panel, you're going to increase all the way, so you're going to count the number of rows that you did for your front panel and make the same number of increases. So the back panel, you're just working increases all the way. If you did 25 rows, that means you're going to make 25 rows of increases at the back panel. All right, so that's just how simple, and that's how you determine the back panel. All right, so you're just going to do that. So remember, I did 18 rows for my increases on the front panel plus the 9 rows there. So I'm going to sum up that all together and go ahead and do the same number of increases at the back panel. All right, so depending on your coverage, you should do what you did on the first panel. All right, so go ahead and do that, and that's about it for the panty. All right, so I'm at the end of my back panel, and it was just about getting late. As you can see the color changes of the video, because I started this tutorial very late. And there you have it. I'm done with my back panel. All right, I did all the increases. All right, so I think I did around 27 rows, if I am correct. Yes, I did 27, and it also measures up to 11 inches, exactly where I started. So you should make sure that your work is corresponding and it's equal. All right, so as you can see, I'm doing the length checks so that I can be sure of everything. All right, so be sure to do the same. That way you know you're on the right track. So I'm going to go ahead and do a long chain, the same number of chains that I did for my first panel. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and chain my 75 and also do the same on the other side. And when you are done, all right, you are going to cut and do your knots the same way as you did for your front panel. All right, nothing changes, because this is really easy, guys. And if you're watching at this point, I really thank you for the support, and don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and do the needful. That's what I always say. All right, thank you so much. I really appreciate your support, and we are growing. I don't want to lie, we are growing. So you're going to go ahead and conceal all the loose ends. All right, and voila, you are done. You see, this is very easy. It's very easy, my dear. So you're just going to smoothen it, and you're going to tie your knots. You're going to tie your straps. All right, so that you could have a complete look of the bikini bottom. All right, so that being done, look at it, it looks beautiful and it looks nice. Right, that being done, what's left to do would be to do the bra cup. All right, so you're going to put this aside and begin your bra cup. You're going to make a simple knot. All right, and I'm going to chain around I'm going to make 3 chains and also do 2, that is a turning chain, which will also be our first double crochet. So my intention is to make 5 double crochets. All right, so you start with 5 double crochets. The chain 2 counts as a chain, as a double crochet. All right, so actually I did 4. Sorry about that. I actually did 4 because I want this to be easily reductible. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and make my increase and do my double crochets as normal, as you can see. All right, so I'm doing my last increase on my second row. All right, since this bra cup is a triangular form. All right, so you're going to go ahead and do your last increase the same way as you did on your first. All right, so that means you did 2 increases. All right, thereafter you're going to chain 2 or 3 if you're a chain 3 person. Then on this row I decided to go normal, so I'm not doing any increases. All right, so I'm just going to go normal because I don't want it to broaden up so fast. Okay, which is why I decided not to do the increase on this third row. Thereafter you're going to chain 2 or 3 if you're chain 3 person and do your increase. All right, So it's only on the third row that I did not do my increases. All right, so you go ahead and do the increase also on the very last double crochet. All right, there you have it. So this is what you have. As you can see, it's not broadening up too quick. All right, so what you're going to do next is to do the length check. This is about 1.5 inches or 2 inches to be precise, but my aim is making 6 inches, sorry, because she has a small bust, right? And for her size, a 6 by 6 inches, it's good enough. So for this, I'm going to do 6 by 7. All right, so on the next row also, you're not going to make any increases. So there are only 2 rows of no increases. All right, that is, you're going to increase on the 3rd row and also on the 5th row. Thereafter, you're going to increase all the way until you reach your 6 inches or whichever length you are going for. All right, so that's exactly what you're going to do. I'm currently on 2 inches, as you can see, so I'm going to work it all the way until I reach either 5 or 6, but I believe for her coverage I'll just make it 6 because she has a very small bust. Right, she's a size 32B. So I went ahead and did my increases, and my bra cup right now, it measures 6.5 inches. All right, going up, but my aim is to make it 7. So that means I'm gonna have to make another last row of increases, and wide it's 5.5. So I want to make it around 6 inches so that at least it's to become 6 by 7. All right, that I know it will be enough coverage for her bust. All right, because she's a size small medium. Right, so when you are done with your increases, you're going to go ahead and cut your yarn. You see how simple this is. All right, this is very simple, and you're going to conceal that tail. Then you're going to turn it upside down and rejoin your yarn, or just connect from the little tail that you have there, like I'm doing right now. I'm just joining with that little tail. And if you don't want to do this, you could just leave a longer tail that you would use to reduce for the last time where you started, and finally do the string to tie by the neck area. Right, so for me, I'm just going to do a knot. I'm doing a double knot, and this knot is the most secure knot you could ever create, and then I'm gonna cut off those tails. All right, so however you connect your yarn, or either you decide to leave a longer tail that you would use to also reduce and make a chain. All right, it's just good enough to avoid this. So I'm going to go ahead where I left off and make a reduction. As you can see, I'm going in all the chains there without pulling through, because I wanted it to be 1 stitch. Thereafter, I'm going to go ahead and make a chain. So I did a chain that is long enough, and I did around 80 chains. So I went ahead and did another bra cup because I need 2 of those, and I did the chain also because my client requested that I do a 2-toned bikini. So this is what I have right now, and what I'm left to do right now is just to do the drawstring that will connect these bra cups together. Right, so to do that, you're going to make a very long chain, depending on how long you want it to be. All right, so I'm going to make a chain that is as long as 270. That's crazy, right? So I decided to do it with this purple color, which is called crochet. in the charity brand. All right, the lilac one is called Regal. All right, so I went ahead and did that chain, that very long chain, because she would have to wrap it around her back, all right, to tie it at the back. And if also she wishes to wrap it back to the front, she'll be able to. All right, so you're going to go ahead and do that. And so I'm done with my long chain. I did around 275. All right, and I believe it's long enough. So what you're going to do next, you're going to line your bra cups, the wrong side being the wrong side, the right side being the right side, and also choose the side of which you want purple to be and lilac to be. All right, so this is how it's going to be. All right, so I'm going to use my hook, all right, to lace it up. So I'm going to demonstrate on one, and you'll repeat the same thing. This I'll do off camera. So I'm going to demonstrate it on the lilac because the color is clear enough, since also I'm using a different color of this three, right? So I'm going to go over one, and then over two, under two, 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 just like that. All right, and under one. So you see already what the as I've inserted the hook, like how the effect is gonna look like after I insert the drawstring. All right, so this is the same effect that we're going for after we have installed the drawstring. All right, so I'm going to attach here and a little bit again, wrap it around the hook, right, and then I'm going to gently pull it. All right, and that is how. So I pull it just like that so that I can have both ends showing. All right, so my client is going to have to pull it like this also to adjust it to her perfect fit. All right, she will just use the drawstring to do so. So since I want this to be on my right, or on the right of my client rather, I'm going to rather on the left, because this is my right side right now. I'm going to grab this also, and I'm going to insert my hook this way because I'll grab from that direction. All right, so I'm going to turn it upside down, under one, over one, just like that. Repeat everything you did with the first. So after doing so, you're going to turn it, and I actually did a mistake, right? I was not supposed to turn it upside down. It was just okay this way. These things can be confusing sometimes. Sorry. So where am I leaving this ones and ones? Just so it could be secure. And then you're going to repeat the same thing, right? So since this is the same color, you should be really careful when you pull this. So I'm going to turn it upside down finally, and pull gently. All right, and that is that. So right now, this is how our bra cups looks like installed, right? So you're going to tie these and you're basically done. However, my client requested that I do here some flowers and install on the bra top and also on the bikini bottom, which the tutorial will be available separately, but for now this is how it looks. All right, so I'm just going to cut this ends and make a knot. All right, so this is how it looks. All right, so this is how it looks before I could install the flowers. It's very nice and very neat. All right, very neat. This is how it looks at the front and how it looks at the back. All right, so I'm going to install the flowers and come back to show you how it looks like. These are the flowers that I'm going to install, and the tutorial for those flowers will be available separately, and I'll definitely insert a link so that you could go and watch it if you're interested in making those flowers. All right, so I'm going to grab my main piece. This is what I'm going to install on my main piece, which is the bikini bottom. All right, so I'm going to install this one with a pink highlight because it will pop on it. All right, so this is how it's going to look like. So I'm going to need a darning needle, a yarn needle or tapestry needle, however you call it, and I'm going to use my lilac color so that it won't show on the background. All right, so I'm going to use the same background color. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. I actually do not need much, and then cut my yarn. All right, so I'm very much sure this is where I want it to be. All right, so I'm going to just support it with my fingers and go ahead and install it. So as I do, I make sure that I grab on both sides. All right, so I'm grabbing on the flower and also on the bikini bottom. All right, so I'm going to try to go by the petals so that they will also be stable and not floppy. So you're going to do that, right? And so I'm going to do around here too, around here. As I move, I'll move in a sort of a circle just so that I can secure the petals. All right, and just make sure that it doesn't appear the side. All right, make sure that everything is concealed. So as you pick from the flower, you pick carefully. So I've come to the end and my flower feels stable because I touched where I could and where I should. All right, so it feels really stable. And just one little more and I'm going to return back here. All right. So to feel whether I'm not piercing under, I feel it with my finger, because my finger is underneath the flower. I don't have to keep turning it. All right, so I'm at the point where I started, which is why I left this little tail, because it's for tying. So that is that, and I'm going to cut my yarn. The birds are chirping, so I'm really sorry about the noise. So this is how beautiful it looks right now. It's really nice. So I'm going to go ahead and install on the rest of the item. For the bikini bottom, which is the painty, I'm done. All right, so I have to do it on the bra. So on the bra, this is how I'm going to install them. This have a purple highlight. I'm going to install it on my lilac. All right, so I ran short actually of this pink, so I had to improvise and just do it purple here, and it's just okay. And the one with the lilac highlight, I'm going to install it here on the purple one. So you're going to go ahead and repeat the same step that you did here, and you'll be done. All right, so I'm going to do that off camera and come back to show you how it looks. So I'm done installing my flowers, and they look so beautiful, and this is how they look. So I'm going to dress my mannequin so you could see it clearly. All right, but this is how it looks. And voila, this is how it looks on the mannequin. It looks really nice, and I really love it. I'm really in love with this, and my client will be really happy. It's very neat, guys. It's very neat, and the colors are communicating, baby. The colors are popping. This is beautiful. I don't know what you think, and thank you very much, guys, for watching. I appreciate you. Thank you very much for staying with me. I hope you learned something, and I'll make sure that I avail the tutorial for the flowers. This is how it looks at the back. It's very plain, and that's just fine, you know. Thank you. Bye.